Aloha everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Peace, and if you're interested in a personal reading, please email me at peacekmono13@gmail.com, and please feel free to take a moment and look at my website at thefootstepstopeace.com. So we first start off this reading today with the shock of the new, and it is followed up by deep knowing and by the book. So with shock of the new, that means we're walking into this new life. We're walking into new territory where things are just out of sorts. We have no clue how things are supposed to go. Now, in the past, we've all been trying to do everything by the book. Unfortunately, the book has been destroyed. Okay, there is no more book. So basically, we're writing a whole new book about a whole new story that we're needing to walk into. And as I say that, my nose is starting to itch. The spirit is saying, you're right on point. So we all have a deep knowing, okay? So we have deep knowing here that our book has to change. We need to rewrite our story. And I think that that's where the shock comes in, is because we don't know how to write this story. Because again, it goes back to yesterday's reading. Nobody's ever been trained for this. Well, it's the prime time to actually get to do everything new and fresh. And it's actually kind of exciting. You know, I feel like, everybody is so worried about finances and everybody's worried about their jobs and how am I going to take care of all this. Isn't it kind of nice to know that we're all in this together, the whole world? You're not sitting in this all by yourself. You know deep down inside that things needed to change. And that's where we're at right now. We're at this deep knowing that things needed to change. And the book that was written, that we've been so dogmatic about, the rules that we have been living by, who wrote that rule book? You get to write a whole new set of rules for your entire life. How cool is that? The way that you love, the way that you work, the way that the people that you allow into your space, you get to rewrite the book, okay? Which is really exciting, actually. Otherwise, we'd just be going round and round in circle with all the people and all the situations that weren't fun anyway. I'm going to do a little bit of astrology here because Spirit is just kind of hammering that down. Back in 1983-84, we had a transit. It was a Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Libra. And at that time, we got put into relationships of you get what you get and you don't throw a fit, right? If we didn't want to go to grandma's house because she stinks and she gives you wet kisses, your mom and dad would make you go anyway because they didn't want you to hurt grandma's feelings. And you just deal with it because that's your grandma and that's how it goes. So we ended up closing that 36, 37-year-old cycle when Saturn and Pluto came together on January 12th of this year in Capricorn. We ended the Libra cycle. Libra is all about relationships, partnerships, one-on-ones, BFFs, roommates, people that we spend the most of our time one-on-one time with, yeah? So what happens is, and what happened during that transit that we were supposed to be growing out of, was we needed to vocalize what it was that we knew wasn't working in relationships. So in the past, we would go into a relationship and we would just tolerate the person because that's what we were taught, is that you just tolerate it. So now with the conjunction on January 12th, we closed out that cycle. And if you haven't noticed the big boom where you've seen a lot of people breaking up, a lot of people breaking up with their jobs, a lot of people breaking up with their own families and friends that they've been best friends with since kindergarten. It doesn't matter. It matters about the fact that you're supposed to be evolving in your relationships. And those ones where it was just the status quo and it wasn't taking you anywhere, those ones are supposed to leave your life. We are being put into alignment with relationships and partnerships of people that are actually supposed to take us to another level. I think where a lot of the disappointment comes into and the shock of the new, right, is because we're so used to, we don't know ourselves without the chaos. We are so used to surrounding ourselves and always having to fight for a relationship. We're always having to fight for a person's attention. That goes back to deep-seated issues from when we were children. mommy or daddy had to work all the time, or mommy wasn't home, or daddy wasn't home. So one of them wasn't there to nurture us. So what we do is we've found relationships that don't nurture us, that don't take care of us. That's that book that we've written, okay? So when it's saying buy the book, it's time to rewrite that book. It's time to go back to that programming, because you do see the elephants here, yeah? And elephants are the one and only animal that can go all the way back in time to the place where they came from. And they have a memory of many lifetimes before. So I feel like that's kind of where we're at. And we, again, because it goes back to the deep knowing, because elephants have a deep knowing of where they came from and who they're supposed to be with. But we run off of fear. We run off of fear because it's a shock that, holy crap, I get to actually make these decisions myself now, and somebody else isn't making them for me. Spirit, please show me, what does the collective consciousness need to know for it? Please remember also that these readings are fluid. Time is fluid. There is no such thing as time. So therefore, whenever you hear this message is when you're supposed to hear it. Pay no attention to the date. Spirit, please show me a message for collective consciousness. So we got the grouse. Embrace the power of dance and movement to access your highest guidance. If I remember correctly, we just got this again. We got this the other day. I believe it was my first reading that we did. So that message is definitely hammering home when I've got an entire deck. So therefore, that's telling me that we need to just flow with what is going on. We can't control it. If you haven't noticed, you've lost all control at this time. So the only thing that you have control over is how you want to maneuver the energy, like I said the other day, and your attitude through this energy. We can sit and we can look for people to blame and whatever else, but that's actually going to be a waste of our time and energy. So I would definitely say work on the things that we can control. Work on writing a book. I know that there are some people who have talked about multiple times writing a book. So if you need to get that book out, get it out. Let's get that started, or let's get it finished. You got nothing but time now. Yeah, this is all about new beginnings. This is all about new beginnings in relationships, the relationship that we have with ourselves, as well as the relationships that we have with other people. You know, I feel like when we embrace the new, and stop trying to make everything back to the way we thought things were normal, I think we're going to be a lot better off in this new energy. At the bottom of the deck, it says duck. Find comfort and balance in simple ways. You have support all around you. So realizing that it doesn't take big, drastic things to make things happen in your life. You don't have to do all that. In fact, you can't. There's nothing you can do. So you can get creative. I'm looking at the picture here and look at all the creativity. She's got music going on in her mind. There are things that she's been thinking about, things that she's wanted to get started, because sunflowers are all about new beginnings, but she hasn't really quite been able to put them out there because she's afraid. A shock of the new. Well, yeah, even for myself, putting this channel out here is making myself vulnerable to people criticizing me. I'm the kind of person who enjoys being behind the scenes and not really showing anybody what I do. I like to work one-on-one. So getting out of my comfort zone because, well, that's what the universe has kind of thrown into my lap is here. This is the way things are going to be. So by putting myself out there and being vulnerable and using my creativity, it has gotten out there to the masses, and I'm able to help more and more people just by doing these videos. So definitely think about the things that you can do in this time and the things that your creativity, because how do I want to say this, Spirit? When you take the time to put that out there, you never realize, even if it's one person's life you can change, that's the life that you were supposed to have at that very moment. Okay? That's the person that you were supposed to help. It's just like when you pass a stranger on the street and you give them your smile when they didn't have one of their own. So think about those things. I'm going to go ahead and, Spirit, please show me a Romance Angels card. Okay. Yeah, playfulness. This is all about playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I think that that's where everybody has lost their focus, because everybody has been so serious about everything for so long that we've forgotten how to play. We've forgotten how to flirt. We've forgotten how to put ourselves out there and be vulnerable and really show people like what we're made of, because everybody thinks that they have to be on their best behavior. How about just learn how to be yourself? That's what this quarantine is all about, is for us to learn how to just be myself. Who am I without the pressure of everybody else on top of me? Who am I? Well, for me, I'm actually fun and I'm funny and I'm quirky. At least I make myself laugh the majority of the time. I don't know if anybody else finds me funny, but I'm playful. I'm getting back to that childlike essence of myself, because we've been so serious for so long and we're being gifted the opportunity to go out and play. Even if we can't play, outside on a swing set, we can play games with our family. We can play games on, with friends over the internet. We can just be playful in general. Learn how to laugh at yourself a little bit more. When was the last time you did something really goofy and laughed at yourself for it? Try it. It's actually fun. I do it every day. With that said, I am going to go ahead and end the reading there. If you would like more information on your own personal journey, again, feel free to contact me at peacekmano13@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Facebook at The Footsteps to Peace, and on Instagram at _footsteps_to_peace_. Any other questions, feel free to look up my website at thefootstepstopeace.com, and I wish you guys a very beautiful and playful day. Enjoy.